Hello everyone and welcome to Farming Sim 22. Today we are producing flour and bread. So to figure out what we need, we'll go into the construction menu. So you can go through the shop. You can also hit Shift P and we go to productions and factories. And we just need to find what we want, which right away here is bread. And that is at the bakery. So we can either buy it on the map like I did here, or you can build your own as long as you own the land. And then for bread, we need flour. So we go over until we find flour in the output here. And there we go, grain mill. So you give it one of the grains, so oats, sorghum, wheat, or barley, and it will produce flour. And again, you can buy it on the map or build it. And we are actually going to build it because in Elm Creek, the grain mill is way up here, and it will just be easier to not put it so far away. So let's get the grain mill. Here's the bakery. Here is land that I've already bought. I'm going to rotate it so our unload and loading point are by the road, and then you place it. Now the prices will be the same, so it'll be $50,000 if you buy the bakery on the map. Again, the only difference is that you have to own the land first, and there is our grain mill. If you don't already own it, you need to go up to it, and in the top left it'll say buy production point. So you'll hit R to buy it. So now that we already own it, we can manage it and look at the recipes. So here's the bakery. We need 2 flour for 1 bread. And all this other stuff is for cake, which will be a different video. So we just need flour. And then to get flour, we go to our grain mill. Now there was a patch which has kind of made things weird. This is the grain mill on the map, and you can see the recipes are a bit different. This is the grain, and I don't know if these are from the last update or what's going on. So this is the one we just bought, so this will be the most updated stuff here. And you can see their recipes are slightly different, but I think it's just to take into account for yield of the grain. So I think it'll all pretty much evens out. People will let me know, I'm sure, if that is entirely inaccurate. Today we're going to use sorghum just because it's new to Farming Sim 22. The other thing about sorghum is it does not produce straw swath, so if you do want straw, then you will want to do one of the other grains. Also notice that it all just turns into flour, so you don't get a wheat flour, barley flour, oat. You just get flour. So go ahead and give it any grain you want and it'll all be the same. So today we need to produce some grain. So over here on field 33, we have a field that we're going to prepare a little bit. So it's already been cultivated. We're not going to get 100% yield. We're not going to go for that, but we are going to lime it and fertilize it and weed it. So let's go ahead and start our lime. If we look at our crop calendar for sorghum, you can see that we are in April and we need to plant in April, and then we'll be able to harvest already in August. So a pretty short growing season. So at this point I will skip ahead and then we will fertilize using the double application of a slurry tank. Alright, so you can see we have finished the liming of the field. And I have a slurry tank here that I have just filled up with slurry from the pig lot or cow lot or both. And you can see in the top left there is an activate doubled application rate. So I'm going to do that. And now when we lower it and we go to our map, you can see we have no fertilizer. If I get rid of all this stuff. And now we should go from 0 to 2 fertilizer states with just 1. And for some reason it like unactivated it again when I went to the map. Okay, activate doubled application rate. And let's try this again. And then we should have the dark blue on the map. And there you go. So there's still that single, I don't know why it went back to normal. But now you can see we are doubly applying and we have that dark blue fertilizer with just 1 pass. Now you also notice in the very bottom left, it is really chewing through the slurry. So you would have to probably have a lot of animal production to make this feasible. but I did just want to show that on this video. So we will continue fertilizing until it is finished, and I will see you in just a second. Alright, you can see we have most of this fertilized here. You can see that I have a worker kind of finishing up that last strip, and we are now ready to plant the sorghum. And so I have 2 seeders ready to go. I got one across the field there, and just like always, you'll lower and plant, and you'll see we do have a planter or seeder, I guess, with fertilizer, but we're not using it because we already have that double state. And now we will check our crop type, and we should have sorghum, and we're good. We can go start the other one. And again, if you make sure you select sorghum, so in the bottom right or the top left where it says select seed, make sure you select what you want. I definitely make the mistake sometimes of planting the wrong thing, though with seasons it does help, because if you're in the wrong month, it'll tell you that you can't do it. So we will go ahead and plant sorghum, and I'm going to skip ahead to the weeding process, which will be in May. I do know the months of the year. 1 month from now. Alright, so we're back. We're in May. You can see we have weeds and a little bit of sorghum coming up. And with this new update, I just sort of tested the weeding a little bit because it's definitely different. You can see we have this light green, which is like the lightest here. And so I went over a little bit with the weeder. You can see right there in the top. And it went to dark green, and it said it was only partially weeded. So I think that's new now. So then I tried just going over it with a sprayer, because I figured might as well if I have one. And then it went to this dark brown, which seems to be a complete removal of the weeds, because now in field info it doesn't say it needs weeding anymore. Whereas over here, where I used a weeder, it says weed partial, and you can see the yield bonus is slightly more here. Or it's the exact same. Weird. Well, all we want is flour, so I'm just going to keep going. So I'm going to actually use the sprayer, if it works, and we'll get rid of the weeder. This new patch definitely changed many things in the since the game came out a month ago, so definitely still learning, but in the end we will have sorghum, and that is all we want. So I will let this continue. There we go. Well, that's 80%. Alright, what we'll do now is just skip forward to harvest season, because all we need to do is get rid of these weeds, and then we can harvest and finally get some flour. Alright, so we got our 43,000-ish sorghum here. And again, we need to get flour first. So we just have to give it a grain, give the grain mill some grain. So we'll go over here to the unload spot, and we will overload the sorghum. And if we check our production chain here in the menu, you will see that the sorghum is loading here. And there we go. And now all we have to do is give it a month or two, and we will wait for some full pallets of flour. So I'm going to go to the farm and sleep, and we'll come back when we have some flour ready to go. Alright, so one thing I forgot, I did not activate the production, so make sure you do that. You need this little light here, and you just go to activate, and since it was deactivated, nothing happened over the month, so I will sleep again, and we'll actually have some flour soon. Alright, so it has been 1 month since we activated production, and you will see we have flour. Kind of lots of flour. And you'll see here we have 13,000 in storage, and it's still making. So it's a lot of flour. And each pallet is 1,000, and this is not counted in that storage number we just saw. So now at this point you can do two things with it. You can sell it for, well, I'm on easy economy, and these are the prices right now, so you can just take it to the bakery, sell it for this much per pallet. Or what we're going to do now is turn it into bread. And again, bread's easy because you just need flour. So we just have to take these pallets, to the bakery. I have a forklift here ready to go. I have a trailer on that tractor ready to go. So I will take a minute to load up some flour. Okay, so now that we have them on, I like to put the straps down if you hit R or look at your controls in the top left. So we have 3 pallets here. So we have 3,000 flour, and the recipe for flour is, or sorry, for bread is 2:1. So we should get 1,500 bread. I have almost a pallet already in storage. But again, we'll just take it here, and the pallets should just disappear once we go into this unloading point. And if we check our production bakery here, we have flour being loaded in. Bread is activated. You can see it's blue now, which means it's producing because it has the necessary ingredients. So we will sleep one more time to get one more cycle here, and then we should have a pallet of bread ready to go. Alright, so here is our bread. We have a couple pallets. Again, that's 1,000 each. So we can load them up like normal. I'll just do one for video's sake. Again, we'll put that down. That just kind of glues it to the trailer so you don't lose it on the way. And now, at this point, all you do with bread is sell it for some good money. So if we go to bread here in the prices, we'll see, let's see, here's our highest one. If you're not sure where this is, you can tag the place, and then on the map you'll see that light, and I know that that is in the north. So if I look at the map, I can look north of where we are, and there it is, and it's flashing, and that down arrow is a selling point. So let's go ahead and take it there, since that will give us the most money, and I will skip ahead until we are at that selling point. Alright, here we are at that bowling place, and all we have to do is drive into the unloading point. Bread will disappear, money will appear. I thought that was a bread, it's just a basketball. There it's disappearing. In the top right, we made 5,300 from one pallet, and so that is the entire production chain of flour to bread. Flour is also used in cake, but that'll be a different video since cake is heavily involved. And I hope that helps. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment below if you wish, and of course have yourselves a very nice day.